Yo, what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I'm Jose Moreno Jr. And today we got a special guest. We're joined by pro boxer Adam BluNose Lopez. How's it going, Adam?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for making the time.
Oh yeah, of course.
First question we got for you, and I'm sure you get asked this all the time, and it's how you got into boxing.
Boxing. My father used to be a fighter, so I grew up always just going to the boxing gyms and seeing him fight and spar, and it was something that was introduced to me as a kid, and it was something that I don't know. I just fell in love with as a kid. I kind of always knew I was gonna eventually get into it. Like I said, my father was a fighter, but my mom raised me. So as I grew up, she didn't really want me to fight. So she put me in basketball, soccer, baseball, like every sport you could think of, I played. And I really enjoyed football and basketball. I really fell in love with it. But at the end of the day, I knew boxing was something that I was going to take seriously. So as I got older, I started finding people around the schools I would go to, couple fighters, and they told me they train where they train at. So I went over to the gyms and I was like, what's the deal? I want to fight. And I kind of just told my mom, like, hey, mom, I found a gym. Like, I'm going to start training. And she didn't like it. And she just told me, like, look, if you guys are going to do this, because it was me and my brother wanting to do it,
Mm-hmm.
she said, if you guys are going to do it, you guys got to like take it very seriously. It's not like any other sport you guys played. Like, this isn't a sport you can mess around with. And I was like, I know, mom, like, I really want to do it. And since then, like, I just took it serious, man. I loved it ever since.
Yeah, now you're making a career and fighting at the top level.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and Adam, your nickname's very unique. Blue Nose. Not a lot of people have that. Can you let us know the backstory how you got the nickname Blue Nose?
My brother gave me that one. As a kid, um, oh, is that too loud? That noise in the
Nah,
background?
you good.
So as a kid, well, not a kid. I think I was like 16. Sparring. I would always spar with. I would get in the ring with anybody. I don't care what size they were. Like I would just, all right, let's spar, and I would just come at them like a little pit bull. I was just ready. I was really scrappy as a kid. I was always able to box, but I loved to sit there and just trade with somebody. Um, so he said you used to fight like a little pit bull, and blue was always my favorite color. And the way I spell it, BLU, I kind of took from my father because on his shorts, he used to have true blue on his shorts, but he would spell it TRUBLU. So I kind of took it how he spelt it, and I put
Mm-hmm.
it in my nickname. And you know how they say pit bulls are bred to fight? I felt like I was bred as a kid. Like I was born to fight. Like I was made to do this. So there's a little backstory to it, three little stories to it. But yeah, my brother gave it to me and it just rung and I liked it and I've had it since I was like 16, I think.
That's awesome. And you definitely backed it up on numerous occasions in your career.
Yeah.
And can you tell us about your amateur career? What were some of your major accomplishments from back in the day?
I didn't do too much in amateurs. I had about 35 amateur fights. I didn't win any I didn't win any tournaments. I always made it to the finals usually, but I never really accomplished much in amateurs. I always gave everyone a tough fight. But that amateur style is something that I never really tried to adapt to. I didn't
Mhm.
want to learn how to fight like an amateur, the points just blah blah blah,
Yeah.
blah. I didn't like
Mhm.
it. And I knew eventually I was gonna turn pro, and I was like, why am I gonna change my style just to win these fights and eventually turn pro? So for me, I just use the amateurs as experience. I just fought a couple tournaments, a lot of sparring with pros, and in LA, you get some of the best work out here. A lot of people come out here to get the work. So I feel like I didn't need too much amateur experience. Sometimes I wish I did. Um, take the amateurs, like put more time and effort, like go win these tournaments
Mhm.
because it definitely helps when you turn pro. Like the way I came up in the pros was, I had to take tough fights and win them. So the amateurs I didn't do too much in. I can't say I had a big amateur career. 35 fights. I probably lost like 10, 12 of them. Um, I just did it just to get the experience. And once I was old enough and I felt like I was ready, I just turned pro.
Absolutely. And speaking of your pro debut, you debuted back in May of 2016 in Tijuana, Mexico. What were your
Yep.
emotions heading into your first pro fight? Were there any nerves?
Yeah, man. It was I remember driving down there. I was so excited. I was 20 years old. Me and my brother both turned pro the same day, same card. It was just like, all right, now my career is finally getting started. Like I'm finally getting to what I've been waiting for. Like I knew the pros is where I was gonna shine at. Because like I said, I didn't do the best in amateurs. Like people knew me, they knew if they fought me, it was gonna be a tough fight. But I just didn't have that amateur style. So I knew once I get those, 4, 6, 8, even now I'm doing 10 rounds. Like I knew that's where I was gonna shine better because I'm a late starter sometimes and them 3-round fights they're so quick and the fight's over. So I was very excited for the pro debut. Like you said, it was in TJ, so the first couple fights were a little easier, and then after that, I was ready to start taking on the big dogs.
Yeah, you stepped it up like almost immediately. Like, because a year later, you fought the Stephen Fulton. I know that was your first loss as professional, and it was a close fight. What do you recall from that fight, and what did you learn from the loss?
Um, my coach at the time, I had just started training with Buddy McGirt. That year, I think I fought the 3 undefeated fighters back to back, and I was the B side on each one of them. I was fighting on Al Heyman cards, and they were all Al Heyman fighters. The first one I think was Jordan White. I was supposed to lose the fight. I went in there, I beat him up. Then they gave me another kid, another undefeated kid. I beat him, and then they offered Stephen Fulton, and my coach Buddy was like, "Don't take the fight. Like this is not like they're just using you right now. They're not trying to give you nothing. Like they're not even paying you a lot of money. Like it's not worth it." And I wish I would have listened. Um, being young and stubborn, I just wanted to fight. I didn't care who it was. I said, just give me the best they got, and I'm gonna beat them. Watch. And it was something I should have listened to, but I took the fight. It was a good lesson to learn. Um, and that was my last fight, I think, at 122. After that, I couldn't make the weight no more. It was a hard weight cut. And then I went up to 126, did some work up there. I think just listen. I had to learn to listen. Definitely take. He's my coach for a reason, and he's been in the game for a long time. I should have stepped back and just be like, all right, you're right. Let me miss this fight and see what else we could do. Because even Top Rank was interested. They wanted to sign me, but my managers at the time turned it down because they wanted me to keep taking these fights, and it was just bad business. It was bad business. But I took a hard lesson. Now I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. As you say, sometimes we got to learn the hard way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I want to ask you about your first fight with Oscar Valdez. I know you stepped up. You took that fight on 24 hours notice after Valdez's original opponent missed weight.
Yeah.
Looking back at it now, what are your thoughts on how the fight played out? Given the circumstances.
I think it worked. It played out exactly how it was supposed to play out. I wish, the ref didn't stop it, He did hurt me. It was a good shot he caught me with. He put me down. But if you go back and you watch the fight, he dropped me. There was about 2 minutes left in the round. So I got up, 2 minutes left of the round. I survived. He tried to come knock me out. I survived the flurry. I got my senses back. I was good. I was back to boxing. And then he threw another flurry, and there was 7 seconds left, and the ref just called it off. Like I
Mm.
wasn't hurt no more. I was like, why would he call it off right then? But they were just looking for an out. I was upset in the fight, and they had a game plan. They didn't want me to mess them up.
Yeah, enough. You hate seeing those stoppages so close to the bell.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
close, man. It was unfortunate, but it was such an exciting moment in my life for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And then I want to speak about your upcoming fight, scheduled for November 4th at the Cow Palace here in San Francisco, California. Are you expecting a lot of friends and family to make the drive/flight up to support?
Yeah, I actually have family up there, so
Oh, sweet.
definitely gonna have a good amount of people there, and definitely people from LA are coming up. Flights are very cheap right now, so I was like, "Yo, get your flights, guys. Let's go out there and represent, man. Let's go show these people what's up." And then my family up there, they're coming, they're bringing their people out, so I definitely gonna have a good amount of support out there. It's exciting. It's definitely exciting. I haven't been in San Francisco since I was like 12 years old. I haven't seen that family since I was like 12, so it's gonna be a very fun weekend. I'm very excited. I've been working very hard, so very, very excited for it.
Definitely, and you're going to be the main event on that card, and also on the lines the WBC Latino lightweight belt.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on the opportunity? Headlining, and what would winning that title mean to you?
Man, it's a great opportunity. I'm coming off two losses, so getting this belt, puts me right back in the rankings, right where I'm supposed to be. And I'm gonna get this win. I'm very focused. I know I'm gonna win this fight, get another win, and I think I'll be right in line for a big fight, title shot, maybe something. I'm definitely on the rebuild right now, so I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
And what can you tell us about your next opponent, King Giovanni Gonzalez?
I don't know much about him. I've never seen him fight. I know he's from Stockton, California, so he's pretty close to where the fight will be at. So I'm assuming he'll bring out a lot of people. It seems like he's got a pretty good following and people know him up there. So I'm expecting a large crowd from him. As a fighter, he seems tough. He looks tough and durable. He definitely doesn't seem like he's on the level of the competition that I'm used to fighting. I've been in there with some of the best in the world. But this is definitely one of his biggest opportunities. So I know he's gonna bring everything he got. So I gotta bring everything I got, and we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for it, man. I'm definitely ready for this one.
That's got the recipe for a fireworks fight. But the fans
Oh
are
yeah,
gonna win.
hell yeah, nah, for sure. It's definitely gonna be an exciting fight. I know he's gonna bring everything he got. Him. This is his opportunity. He's got to show up and make a statement.
Absolutely. Switching gears, kind of looking into the future. What's a dream venue that you would want to headline one day?
Dream venue. I would love to headline down here in LA, maybe even the Staples Center, or um they just opened at the Bank of California Stadium. I've been there. I went to watch fights there once, and it was such a really nice venue. But even I mean the Staples Center is called something else now, but I call it the Staples Center. But somewhere down here in LA, and I'm not gonna lie, since a kid, I've always wanted to go fight at Madison Square Garden. I've never fought there. It just seems like such a historical place to go fight at.
Hmm.
So either the Madison Square Garden or Staples Center, I would love to fight at one of those places and headline it for sure.
Absolutely. And then is the 135 pound the weight class you plan to continue fighting at in the near future?
What was that?
Is 135 pounds the weight class you plan to continue fighting at in the near future?
No. So this fight is contracted at 132,
32.
just catch weight, but it is a lightweight title. But I do plan to go back down to 130. I think that's definitely my weight class. Eventually I'm gonna go up to 135. I'm growing still. And also where the money's at. If they offer me a big fight at 135, I'll go up and take it. I don't think I'm too small for 135. I got a good height. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, great names in both divisions, so
Yeah,
you can't lose in either.
exactly.
And then Adam, who's been the hardest puncher you've been in the ring with, either in sparring or in one of your fights?
Sparring, man. My boy Czech, his name's Marco Diaz. He's from Florida. I met him back in 2019. He helped me get ready for the first Oscar Valdez fight. I was training in Florida in this little beach town called Vero Beach. There was no sparring out there at all. I was asking my coach, I was training with Buddy at the time. I was like, yo, who we gonna spar with out here? He's like, we
Mhm.
might have to go to Orlando. It was like 2 hours away. I was like, damn, man. I was like, all right, whatever. And then his buddy's son's friend was training his brother, which was Marco. And he's like, hey man, I see you guys are in town. Like, if you guys need sparring, let me know. So we brought him in one day. The first day he sparred me, I was like, all right, let's see what this guy's about. He threw so many goddamn punches so damn hard. I was like, yo, what the hell is this? He lumped me up. He gave me a big old black eye the first day. I was like, yo, this guy could crack. So we used him for the whole camp. And he got me sharp. He got me ready. And he was in a weird place at the time. He had just came off his loss. So I went to go fight, and that whole situation came about where the Valdez fight happened. Boom, my life, my whole career kind of boosted up.
Mhm.
And the type of person I am, he helped me out. So I was like, all right, let me see what I could do for this kid. I flew him out to LA. He stayed with me for about 2 years, got him some fights, and me and him are really good friends now. But he's definitely one of the hardest punchers I've been in the ring with. He hits very hard.
Oh, that's great backstory to go with it too.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you've been in some firefights, with some very tough fighters throughout your career. Which fight stands out to you, and you would rank as the toughest?
The toughest one, I think it would be the Louis Correa fight.
Okay.
That boy came to fight, man. He definitely came prepared. It was a COVID fight too, so it was a weird fight. Nobody in the crowd. It was quiet. All I could hear was his coach, my coach, and the punches flying. That was it. And he threw so many damn punches. I was like, this motherfucker's not getting tired, man. He just kept going. I was like, all right, I gotta dig deep for this one. Yeah, that was definitely, I think, the toughest fight I've had.
All right, for sure. And then who was your favorite boxer growing up?
I would say my father. I didn't really watch boxing. Like I said, my mom didn't want me to do it, so she always kept it away from me, kept it out the house. Like she didn't want me or my brother to get involved into it because she was there for my dad's career, and she just saw everything he went through, and it's a tough journey, tough career, tough way to make money. So she kept me away from boxing, but I always had my dad's fights, so I'd always watch my dad's fights. Him as a kid, him as a pro, I would always watch his fights, and he was definitely my favorite as a kid.
Definitely. And now, present day, Adam, who do you consider to be the number one pound fighter today?
Pound for pound. I mean, I feel like Canelo was holding he's been holding it for a long time, but I feel like he's kind of on his way out now. Man, it might be Tank, it might be Gervonta Davis. I feel like him, maybe even Shakur. I feel like that fight right there would let us know who's a pound for pound of this era because they're the two top dogs, I believe. Maybe even Terrence Crawford, them three right there. Or man, Terrence Crawford, he really opened up my eyes that last fight. He did some amazing things. That dude's different. He's special. We need to see him in the ring with another big name, and I want to see what he could do because that was a beautiful thing to do, to watch. But I think Tank might be, the next face of boxing, the way his career is going.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what Tank does next and what his pay-per-view numbers do because like he just did, I think, what was it, 1.2 million with Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Garcia's got a huge name too, though.
Yeah.
So
that's why I want to know, like, if like Tank versus Shakur, like what does that crack a million? I think it does. So
I
huge
hope
fight.
so because that's a huge fight for boxing. We need that. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, agreed. And that actually kind of segues to my next segment. So I have some matchups, either confirmed or rumor, and I want your opinion on who you think would win. If they're too close to call, you can say 50-50. You could also pass.
Okay.
The first one I want to ask you about, this one's confirmed. It's happening December 9th in San Francisco. Is Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney.
I got Regis.
Regis, you think
Yeah,
a stoppage?
I think he could stop him, but Haney's tough to catch. He could box and he could dance for, 12 rounds. He's never been at this weight class. We're gonna see what he could do. And he's moving up to the weight class and he's challenging one of the toughest guys at that weight class. And Regis he's a dog, man. He ain't one to play with. He's taking it serious. Like the hype videos had me excited. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be a good fight. But Haney could box his ass off, so we'll see. But I see Regis, hurting him bad. If he can really get to him, get inside and go to that body and break him down, I think he's really gonna hurt Devin Haney.
Yeah, it's gonna be skill versus skill.
Yeah, for sure.
Next one I want to ask you about is Shakur Stevenson versus Edwin de los Santos.
I don't think I've seen Edwin de los Santos. But I mean, shit, Shakur's such a tough fighter to even get ready for. But so respect to De Los Santos for taking it. But I got Shakur. I don't see no one really giving him a problem at 135 besides Tank.
Yeah, for sure. Next one, this one's gonna confirm November 25th, I believe. PBC Showtime pay-per-view. David Navides versus Demetrius Andrade.
Um, I got Benavidez. I hope he, comes if he comes 100%, I think he's gonna stop him. I mean, they call him the Mexican Monster for a reason. That dude is special, and he's been hurting people every fight. Like he's different, and he's so awkward too. Like you would never teach a fighter to fight like David Benavidez. You never would. What works for him works for him. And if you change him, you'd probably mess him up. You got to let him fight how he fights. He's just a special individual. But yeah, I got Benavidez.
Yeah, and fighters like Benavidez with their power, they're always in every fight.
Yeah, hell yeah, for sure.
One punch just changes it all.
Yep.
Last one I want to ask you about. This one's being rumored for next year. It's Vasily Lomachenko versus George Kambosos.
I got Lomachenko.
Chico.
I think he's still got something left in the tank. He looked really good against Devin Haney. A lot of people thought he won. He's got so much experience. Kambosos is tough, but I just don't think he's on that level to compete with Lomachenko.
All right, coming back to you. What are some things you like to do outside of boxing? Some of your interests and hobbies?
I recently got into rock climbing a lot.
Oh,
It
nice.
really, yeah, it's really fun. I'm actually about to go. That's my next workout. I use it as a workout. It's getting my hand strength stronger, my core strength. It's fun and it's a good workout. It's a fun environment. Everyone's really friendly. It's all indoor climbing. I don't think I'd take it outdoors. It's a little too risky. But yeah, it's a fun hobby, man. I have so much fun. I feel like a kid in there climbing around. I do rock climbing. I play some video games. I got two big ass dogs. I got a German Shepherd and a Belgian Malinois, so they need a lot of time. Um, I like camping. Camping's always something I love camping, man. I can go camping every week if I could. I just like being outside and getting away from everything.
Nice, just disconnecting.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. And then you being from Glendora, California, Adam, what are your SoCal roots mean to you?
Man, it's a lot, SoCal, we got a lot of history down here. A lot of great names have come out of this area. I was born in Glendale. It means a lot, I get a lot of love around here, around the valley, around Glendale, Burbank, this whole area. I always get a lot of love down here. People respect my name. So it's a beautiful thing. I love to represent the city.
Definitely. And then Adam, what's the best piece of advice you would give someone who's thinking about going pro and making a career out of boxing?
Trust your vision. If you see yourself accomplishing this and making it to the top, work as hard as you can, get some good people around you, and don't let no one distract you. A lot of people try to distract you and try to put stuff in your head, but focus on the goal at hand. And at the end of the day, hard work beats everything else. So work as hard as you can.
Well said. Great advice. A final question I got for you. It's not really a question. It's more so opening up the floor. What's the message you want to send to your fans and supporters?
Man, a lot of people count me out, man. They keep throwing me in tough. I don't get the decisions on a lot of these fights, but at the end of the day, I do this because I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love boxing so much. Boxing has changed my life. And I'll never leave this sport of boxing. I might not fight forever, but I will always be a part of the sport of boxing. I love this sport, and just keep tuning in, keep supporting. It means a lot for sure. So tune into the next fight. It's gonna be a fun one.
Nice. And I couldn't help but think of the Canelo clip after the Charlotte interview. It's like he says, "I love boxing so fucking much."
Yeah, man. I mean, as a kid, boxing, it gave me purpose. It showed me so much discipline and hard work, and you got to work for what you want in this life, and that's what it is at the end of the day. So when Canelo says no boxing, no life, like it's for real. Like boxing teaches you so many life lessons. When you completely dedicate yourself to the sport, it's going to teach you so much about yourself that you don't even realize.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Everybody, make sure you buy your tickets for November 4th if you're going to be in San Francisco. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be a great main event, great fight all around. It's going to be also on the zone, right?
Yeah, it'll
card.
be on the zone also. So
It's going to be on the zone just in case you can be there in person. Yep. And Adam, thank you so much for your time. It was great to get to know you.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, man. I look forward to seeing you in person, meeting you at the fight.
Absolutely. I'll be there.
All right, cool.
Take care, champ. Bye.
Thank you.